Hi guys! Today we're gonna talk about a topic that is very close to our hearts, and it's going to be a two-part series. The topic is actually about stewardship, right? Stewardship is basically having a conviction and a posture that everything that has been given to you is actually a trust from God, and this is to be used wisely, graciously, and also generously as much as possible.
A steward is somebody who manages something, whether it's a property, whether it's a product, whether it's a person, and the thing has been given to the steward to manage, and it does not belong to the steward. So the question is, what are we stewards of? We are stewards of our time, of our resources, of our abilities, our gifts, our talents, even our relationships, our children, our marriage, our friends, if we're business owners, then our businesses, our money.
So for this episode, we're going to focus on being stewards of our time.
We've often heard this saying with regards to food and our food consumption: what we eat is what we become. I think that holds true for being a steward of time as well. What and how you spend your time each day is eventually what you would be shaped into. We just want to give you 4 very quick handles on how to become a good steward of your time. The first one is, instead of saying I don't have time, we need to start saying I will make time. See, everybody is given 24 hours in a day and 168 hours in a week, no more and no less. How we proportion our time is that we list down our non-negotiables in a day, and some of our non-negotiables are, for example, devotion with God, time with our family, maybe putting the children to sleep, time around meals, work, obviously, 5 or 10 minutes just sitting down with each other, just checking on each other's day. So some of those non-negotiables are things that will fill up our schedule, but all of us have extra time. So the question is, what do we use our extra time for?
Setting goals may sound very simple or straightforward, but most of the time we tend to set goals based on our New Year resolution. To us, having a yearly goal may not be enough. I think the question is, do you have daily goals, weekly, monthly, and perhaps even quarterly goals? A very quick example is if your yearly goal is to be fitter, what is your quarterly goal? Perhaps your quarterly goal could be, I want to run 2 long distance races per quarter. The key point is to distill large goals into smaller, manageable goals.
The third thing that we often tell ourselves is to pace ourselves, because life is not a race, it's a marathon. And one big question that we've asked ourselves constantly is that, are we running out of breath? It's important for us to take time to take stock of what exactly are we busy with our day-to-day lives. Sometimes living in a city can get quite hectic, and we know what it is and how it feels. A good reminder for us is that being busy all the time is not always a good thing. And sometimes it's good to say, I need to pace myself.
So our final handle is, sometimes we tend to look at time using a calendar or a clock. We think that looking at time in a form of opportunities is also a good way to be good stewards. Certain opportunities may come knocking on your door regularly, perhaps like a job, but there are opportunities that maybe comes to your life and my life only once in a lifetime. For example, sitting to a particular stranger in a plane, or with a Grab driver. Now the question to us is, what are you doing with that opportunity? What am I doing with that opportunity?
So the 4 handles are, first one is to make time instead of saying I have no time. The second one is to set goals and make small goals so that you can celebrate small wins. The third is to pace yourself, because life is a marathon and it's not a sprint. And the fourth is to measure time via opportunities instead of with a clock or a calendar. What are the opportunities around you that you need to seize?
Alright, I think that's all for part 1, and watch our next episode for part 2. Bye!
See you!